shoulder, right?
Shoulder impingement.
Yep.
Cyst, and triceps tears.
So we have a few things to talk about with Julio as my guinea pig, but you also might have seen we had Richard, who's a good friend, turned out to be a good friend, started out being a client, and like him, I've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people through other means, with the book and with these podcasts or whatever. And we're here to talk about shoulder injury. And one of the biggest ones is what he just said, is that pinch. So I think Abdullah joined us, and last week...
The numbness is horrible.
Yeah, and last week, after you wake up, like in the morning, right? Or you can't reach your head, any overhead movements, it pinches. So if you like to lift weights, if you're, doing presses, or if you're doing snatches, you get that pinch. So we're going to talk about that. And if you have any questions, this is a live that we're trying to make it very interactive. So please, by all means, put it in the comment and let me know what your questions are. But meanwhile, we'll just kind of keep talking about our experiences, right? In the book, it is chapter 5. Chapter 4 is for neck. And chapter 5 talks about shoulder. And, I got to remind you guys that this is a book that took me 2 years to write. Lots of research on different evidence-based practice techniques. And over the years that I've used these techniques with several athletes that were told, especially even my dear friend Sam McCoy, he's actually this first testimonial here. And I don't know if he's on Facebook, if anyone's going to join us, but he was told by the physician, you're never going to fight again. He's an MMA fighter. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's very active in competing. And he was told that he was going to fight again. And I was like, excuse me? And he's had therapy for a while at that time. And like Richard, around that same time frame, he came. And he came to see me. And one of the biggest things that we're going to teach you here today is how to take care of that pinch and continue lifting. All right, that's the biggest thing. So first, I don't have my disclaimer written down, but please keep in mind, hi Doc, I have my wonderful co-worker, BFF, and co-writer of the physio training course who's joined us. And she's a doctor in physical therapy. She's the actual doctor. I'm not a doctor. I have just years and years, and people call me doctora, but I'm not. She's the actual doctora, so we can always check back with her. Hey, doc. And so one of the biggest secrets here is, before that, as I was saying, the disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only. If you are not sure if this applies to you, please check with your own physician or with your own physical therapist before you try any of these activities. And as always, keep in mind, good judgment. If it hurts, don't do it. Okay? So,
no, if it hurts, call you.
If it hurts, call me. Yeah. Actually,
I don't know why I do this. I don't know.
What did you just do? You were walking around. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Can I see the camera? See?
I'm looking at all kinds of cameras. I don't know where I'm looking.
That's TikTok.
Oh, cool. Awesome. That's Instagram and that's Facebook.
And that's two hands together.
Damn. All right, guys. So it looks like we have a good amount of people. Let's go ahead and please share this with your friends. Invite them to join us. These questions, people maybe they feel that, it's not, oh, that's my dog. That that you don't have somebody to ask. Maybe you need to call a physician. Well, no need. I'm here, and Dr. Figueroa is here as well to keep that, interesting for you guys. So first thing, impingement. You have different kinds of impingement. I'm not going to get too technical, but you can have primary impingement and secondary impingement. So every time that you lift your hands up and you're going to do some kind of activity overhead, or if you're handstand, I don't know, whatever, even in jiu-jitsu, if you're putting your hand down, to post, and you get that pinch, first you need to back off that activity just for the time being and try the following exercise. Are you ready? Let's show them let's show them the TheraBand one.
Oh,
Okay, so
You know, then
somewhere we don't know. We're just trying to figure this technology out. Hi, Brian. Guys, please throw me some questions. Okay, so the first thing about this band, as you know, maybe if you watched my other live, I love this band. Okay, it's a very good, easy, cheap way to have your rehab right on your hands, right at home. You're gonna put this, as you see, I have a knot, because the idea is that you're gonna be by yourself, right? So you wanna put this over.
right back.
He's gonna try to make the husky be quiet. He wants to be part of the live. Maybe I'll just let him out. So you're gonna put this over a door, okay? And you're gonna close the door so that the knot is on the outside of the door. So it doesn't slip as you pull on it, okay? And it doesn't go on your face. That's the worst part. If you're a therapist, any therapist, doc is there, it happens a lot. So be careful with that, okay? So Julia's gonna be my door.
So what you do, you put it in an angle like this, like the door closed like this, the top of the door, you get the knot, put it on top and you close the door, poof, on top of it.
Right, just like that. So he's gonna
Just
be
like
my
that.
door, okay?
Right.
And the whole thing here, you guys, is that, and if you might have seen other videos before, you might think that I'm gonna tell you to move your hand, and that's not what I'm gonna ask you to do, okay? This activity is an isometric activity, but it's a little bit more than a muscle setting isometric because it does have a little bit of pressure, but this is a pressure that it's a relieving pressure. It causes a distraction on the joint, and you can control how strong you want that pull. So you're gonna keep your arm by your side, okay? And as you see the angle of the band, as if Julia was my door, right? And I'm going to just walk away on the opposite direction of the bend. I'm going to be able to feel, and you will too, sort of a pull, right? Right there. And you notice my hand is facing my leg, and that pull is going to be really just, it feels great. It's relieving. And then you're going to walk back towards the bend. Okay, there's no turning, no, the whole point of this exercise is for you to gradually walk away from the bend, hold it 5 to 10 seconds, whatever makes you comfortable, and then back. Okay, now this is one direction. I'm going to show you a quick one for a second direction. Would be facing the bend. Now I'm going to change hands just so you can see, but again, now my palm is facing back posteriorly, okay? And I'm gonna walk away just enough to get that pull, and again, 5 to 10 seconds, I'm gonna walk back and relax.
Remember to say about the repetitions, how many repetitions?
Julia is my repetition.
Go on, I'm okay,
Yeah.
I'm good now.
Yeah, actually it feels great right away, but as it mentions, this is super important. Do it, 5 to 10 times, holding those 5 to 10 seconds, okay? And the idea here, guys, is that tightness that you're feeling, that pinch, gets the distraction, some blood flow. It starts to actually feel great. The muscles don't go into guarding as much, and then you can actually oftentimes go right back to the activity that you were doing. And I mean the lifting, I mean the snatching. I have several experiences. Oh, Léo Peçanha is here. So now, fala amigo, he's here to join us. I joined his live, he's joining my live today. And I think you took care of his shoulder one time, didn't you?
I don't remember.
Well, anyways, we've taken care of all kinds
Too
of
many
people.
people, I can't remember.
Hi there, guys on TikTok. How are you? So everybody, hi.
Oh, hold on.
I'm looking at all kinds of cameras.
The last time we talk about the shoulder injury, but you're going to address this for jiu-jitsu.
Well, for really anything that's going up or at a fast grip. So if I'm gonna, grab you, and if I'm gonna post, okay, all of this impingement. Now, I was talking about it being primary impingement or secondary impingement. Why? Because primary impingement is a change on the structure. So you would have, maybe a part of the clavicle that's malformed or something that's causing that impingement. And you might be able to help out with some of these exercises.
Hold on.
But if it's a primary impingement, even Doc, who's joined us, my friend, maybe she can tell you, oftentimes you may eventually need surgery if it's a primary structural impingement. Now, Secondary impingement is due to a lot of issues, stabilization issues, rotator cuff weakness.
Okay, my point.
Super normal.
I have a point. I have a question.
A point or a question?
Question.
Okay, tell me.
My problem is everybody wants to fix, but you have to find why. Why we are getting injured in jiu-jitsu? It's postural,
Well,
it's stability, is repetition of movements because you got posture up, the guys on top pulling your spine. So
yeah,
talk about this.
But
About
we're not talking about neck. We're talking about shoulder.
Okay,
Neck is
but
next
the
week.
shoulder goes with the neck.
Well, definitely. Actually, that's a big thing, Julie, that you brought that up, because new research is showing that you have to actually work your scapular stabilizers in order to help your neck strength. So, telling you, he's going to be a physical therapist. He's not just a physio trainer, he's just a physical therapist by osmosis. So, any questions? I see a lot of people joining. I love that. Please invite your friends.
You didn't answer my question. So
No.
What can we do to prevent?
Okay, so I was just trying to kind of put together here. All right, prevention is going to be stability work. Okay, rotator cuff work, because rotator cuff are these little muscles that are inside your shoulder, and as you saw Richard on his testimonial, they become weak. Even if you lift heavy, they need a specific type of strengthening. And there's a question, so I'll get to that in a second. There's a specific type of strengthening that a lot of us don't do. So you go on and on and on doing all kinds of lifting, but you don't do these strengthening exercises, you'll end up with the issue. So that's the main thing. Okay, we'll talk about the neck part next week. Okay. But this more about the, which helps. I mean, it helps. So it's more about the scapular area, the back of the shoulder, and let me see what my friend's question is.
It makes no sense you strengthen the shoulder if you don't strengthen the neck.
Absolutely, yeah. It goes both together. That's why it's chapter 4 and 5 in the book. It's back to back. But I have my friend Andrea.
Book is not on site, but it's gonna be. Give me this thing. It's gonna be like chapter here.
All right.
Cover my face.
Andrea asked, "What about arthritic pain in the shoulder? What would this help?" Yes, this will absolutely help, okay? But the main thing about shoulder arthritis is the less you move, the more prone to get adhesive capsulitis, which is frozen shoulder. And that is when people can't no longer move their shoulder. So if you've already been diagnosed with arthritis, you know it's a progressive disorder of the joints. It's going to continue to be inflamed. So you need to not do too much weight bearing and too much pressure, but you definitely need to move it. You have to keep it mobile. You have to do the strengthening. So yes, it will absolutely help you. Keep in mind with arthritis, you might want to use the pool, because the pool has the resistance of the water, but not as much gravity. And that helps, keep that mobility and strengthen your muscles without too much pressure. So that's another option too, okay, Andrew? But you can do some of the same exercises in the pool. That's the cool part, okay? If anyone here has any other questions in any of the other...
I have an edit. Another thing you have to do is identify what movement you doing that make it more inflamed. For example, when I work out, I cannot do for the life of me military presses with the bar, because the 2-day range is inflamed, it's pinching, it's killing me. So I, for example, adapted to Arnold presses with dumbbell, because instead of going to fix, my hands are fixed, I can move around. So I discovered that when I close my elbows and I open my scapula, so it's better for me. Yeah. So that's my point.
These modifications are in the book. I showed you guys a little while on the last one. I showed you guys a picture where I'm turning my thumb up. So that is definitely, if you weren't then or if you're just joining us, we're talking about shoulder injuries. And one of the things, if you do have, including if you have arthritis and you're doing some lifting arms like this, the raises this way or the lateral raises this way, and it hurts and it pinches, you can first try to turn your thumbs up and do it that way, okay? So you're gonna lift it like that, or sideways with the thumb up as well. See my thumb right there? Okay, thumb up. And that right away, even if it's a structural impingement, it kind of moves certain parts of the humerus away from the top of the shoulder, and it allows a little bit more mobility without the pinching. So that could be a first try. And some oftentimes you don't have the pinch, you don't have the pain, you can kind of keep pushing as long as you're not working through the pain. Okay.
Lower too.
One of the things, man, that we talk about in physio training is you need to be able to modify things to sort of get back to where you want to be. So I don't want you to stop it altogether. I want you to modify it. So it may be like Julio. Maybe, he loves doing it with the bar, but because of his impingement being primary and partially secondary, he needed to adapt. And so he uses the dumbbell, maybe not as heavy lift, but he adapts and adds other cool stuff.
Sometimes I have to, some exercise, I have to limit the range of motion. I used to do front raises for dumbbell all the way up.
Right.
Like the old school Arnold used to do it.
Right.
But over the time, the impingement, I couldn't. So I stopped turning. Okay, it helped a little bit. But then, there was too much pressure on my shoulder going this way. So I realized if I decrease the range of motion, and the load, my impingement will go away.
Now,
I leave my ego because we want to
couple
lift
that,
heavy,
the ego is heavy. The ego is heavy. He wants to lift heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, throw questions at me. One of the biggest things that is evidence-based, I'm going to try to show you here in each of the cameras, is all the work you do for your rotator cuff. You want to do it in prone. I got cameras everywhere. My goodness. So anyways, it's in the book. And we're going to type in the course link because we do have a course. We are certifying several different people in different states and different countries, and it's an amazing process. It's not just the book. Like I said, I have Dr. Figueroa and another wonderful and best friend of mine who's also my counter side on the physical therapy, Veronica, and the three of us put together this course that it's really taking everybody by storm.
Shout out.
Oh, shout out. Okay, while we haven't reopened our facility, you can definitely check our best friend's facility, PhysioFit in Davie. He's been holding the fort with physio training ever since almost 10 years already.
I suck at numbers.
I'm telling you, he's been Mario and Cindy and everybody with PhysioFit who want to go to their studio, get some of that physio training with their own twist to it. Please do, by all means. This is our shout out here because they totally deserve it. So with that said, when you work your rotator cuff, okay, you've got to pay attention to how you recruit the muscles. So as an example, I'm going to turn around and I'll ask Julio to point out one of the biggest problems, let me turn around just like that, is that people cannot squeeze their shoulder blades. So when they do stuff, they go and they don't move it. They just do this. But the truth is, whenever you move,
see the shoulder blades?
you want to bring
one technique that I do for my clients.
the shoulder blades together.
I tell my clients to do this. I put your hands on the wall, and then I put my hand right in the middle of the spinal cord and I said, I want you to squeeze my hands. See the squeezing? Can you see it? Look. Sometimes you need to touch somebody. Ask permission. Some people are weird. So, for real. So you need to touch for the engage the muscle. You know what I mean?
And so oftentimes this little detail, okay, every time you're doing an activity for your rotator cuff to get that scapula to move and to start the motion through the scapula, okay, and that's going to make a huge difference. One of the last things I wanted to talk about.
We just got
I
here.
know, but I feel like
What's wrong with you?
I don't have questions, so I'm like, okay, I've talked about a few things. That's it. I'm not gonna keep it. I'm not gonna keep it really long, but I'm waiting for. I thought people have like problems. Oh, today's my birthday. Wish me all the best. Hi, my big long daddy. TikTok. Happy birthday.
Big long daddy.
That's what it says. My big.
Happy birthday, long daddy. Well.
Oh, that's great.
Better than short, trust me. Better than short.
Yep, I gotta say, maybe. All right, guys.
What's better than short? What do I have to do more than short?
So guys,
I'm short.
look, one of the biggest things here is to work your core. All right. So before I keep going or decide to cut it, we're gonna do this. We're gonna talk about core. So now you need a particularly a ball that is. Can you grab me the big physio ball? Mm-hmm. Now, if you see my videos on any of TikTok or any of these social media,
here to do...
I'm just gonna show the ball and show a couple.
Show the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Our ball is square. Hold on.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and show you the green ball.
Okay,
you know I do these exercises a lot, right? I do these exercises a lot in the videos that you see, and they are. Yeah, I'm gonna move the chair real quick, and I just want to show an easy one. Can you move the chair?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm just gonna show an easy one. Up. The ball's not there. They can't see it. They can't see me bouncing on it.
Told you. No demonstration.
All right, guys. The ball, okay? There's several activities that you need to exercise and get your core engaged, okay? Let me teach you one right here, right now that you can do without the ball, and it'll be a good start, okay? Take your umbilical and pull it way back as if you're gonna touch it into the back of your spine. The name of this
pull it.
like this. You know when you actively pull it, like when you're like going into a really cold pool and you're like yeah, that's kind of the thing. This is called a drawing in maneuver. It is the beginning of
the vacuum.
Yeah, some people call it vacuum.
I'm sure it's called a vacuum.
And it's quite hard, and at the beginning of very good spinal and pelvic stabilization. And you don't need the ball for that. You could do it just on your own. So let's give it a try. I have,
look.
Oh, I have another one here. You showed me a pendulum thing years ago. Would it be okay to do that for the shoulder? Yes, the pendulum. Andrea, I'm going to show the pendulum. The pendulum is actually this right here, okay? And it's kind of like the beginning of the one that I showed you earlier. It's causing the same type of thing, a distraction, okay, on your shoulder joint. It's kind of letting the weight of your arm pull and open up the joint space here. But there is one thing I want to talk about the pendulum. A lot of people do it wrong, okay? A lot of people do this. They do the pendulum with the arm. That's not the point. Pendulum is for you to use your trunk. It's actually a little hard. You gotta move the trunk and then try to get a response of the arm just moving. Okay, that's what a pendulum is. That's one of the biggest problems is people do it wrong. And yes, you can totally do that activity to help you with pain. If, for instance, this one was a little too hard, you felt some pinch, wasn't comfortable, you can definitely use the pendulum. See, Andrea, you remember stuff.
I got a question.
Yes.
Can I talk?
Sure, you're talking already.
What is core? Not what is core. What kind of activity is really core? Because I hear, I'm not bad mouthing anything, and I'm just saying the reality, okay?
Okay.
I do, for example, a lot of squats. That's not core.
Okay.
I do pull-ups. That's still not core. I do planks, and I say that's trunk stability. That's still not core.
Well, okay.
It's like what is really, really core? Not 1%, 2% core.
Okay.
You know my point? It's not like core. No, core. What kind of thing where you need to be, you need to do core. Explain to this people.
Okay.
Go ahead.
First, yes, in order for you to do certain activities, such as a heavy squat or a pull-up, okay,
That's not core.
you require a strong core, but that is not a core strengthening activity. Okay, that's number one. Number
jump
two.
boxes.
Hold on.
Not core.
Can I talk?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I got excited.
Sheesh.
I got excited.
All right. The next thing is trunk stability, bridges, planks. Yes, sir, they are phase 1 core, and they're the beginning of trunk stability, but you will kind of plateau at some point.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Unless you add something that is an unstable surface. And so by definition, in order to actually strengthen the kinetic chain of your core, you are best to use a unstable surface. Now that goes from anything from a foam to sand to the ball to a balance board.
Bolso ball.
There's so much that you can use.
Anything that when you stand, you feel your knees buckle, like you need to, oh my God. You know what I mean?
You
That's
need
core.
to activate the entire core, and that is how you strengthen your core. And then you can continue to add those exercises to your regular routines as progression. Physical therapists, we tell our students all the time, don't think of progression just raising the weight. Think of progression as how can I make the volume of this exercise harder? How can I make the intensity harder and make my body and my brain and my core all have to work really hard to maintain my body stable? And that is definitely one way. So that's my take on it. Okay, guys, hit core, we hit the rotator cuff. Now, I can't stress enough that when you are working with rotator cuff exercises, you want to use small weights to no weights. You know, what did I used to give you in the gym to work the rotator cuff when we didn't have a 2 pound weight?
We look for a 2 pound or 1 pound. We didn't have it. So what we did was we used Gatorade bottles. 2 Gatorade bottles, orange flavor, because the other one is nasty.
For Gatorade bottles, and they were full. So you have a little bit of weight, right? I don't know what that weight is, but
that thing
it's
burned.
Not much at all.
That burned.
And let me tell you, when you see bodybuilders who I worked with, and they used to see these little weights or the Gatorade bottles, and they'll be like, no, please. Okay, it's very painful in the sense of burning and you feeling the muscles. Your body will engage the muscles that you are stimulating. Okay, so if you lift a heavy weight, you're going to engage the bigger muscles. If you lift a smaller weight, you're going to engage the little muscles. I'm going to give you an example. Have you ever gotten a orange juice from the fridge, and you thought the bottle was full, but it wasn't? Maybe it was a carton, and you thought it was full, so you went to pick it up, and it wasn't full, so you kind of just took it like that. That's your brain. It knows how many muscles to recruit.
This is
okay.
Here, in your book, page. I don't have my glasses.
162.
Look, it's for knee stabilization,
okay.
Right? But this is a total example. That's a lot of core. Look, show it.
Yeah, these are just examples of what you can.
Not too close. Not too close.
I have to show it on the camera.
Camera is here, not too close.
Hey, my butt. Swear to God. Okay, you see that? Right there, these things under my feet on these pictures. Yeah, these are going to be things that are going to engage your core, okay, a lot more. So
you can do simple stuff. Mm-hmm. You can do sit-ups on the ball. Mm-hmm. You can knee on the ball and balance yourself and do some biceps on the ball. It's still core. The core is the one you're going to hold. The biceps not going to be secondary, because the moment you relax your core, you go out of the ball.
Oh, Can I see the trigger point stick? Because that is one of the biggest things that I helped Richard with. Okay.
You can get on Amazon. This is so cheap.
Let me show you.
By the way, who introduced this to me was my good friend Morena. Okay.
She's a physio trainer.
She's a physio trainer too.
She's a physio trainer. Is she here? Morena, you here?
When we live in UAE, remember in Dubai, she showed me this thing.
Okay, so let me show you something. Now, guys, I didn't make this up. You can Google this right now. You can put Google trigger points for the shoulder and boom, you'll find it. What I do that is a lot different than many therapists is I actually have learned many of these points, so my fingers know exactly where to go with it. Or I also have learned by studying and researching that many injuries and pain come from places you wouldn't think about. So let me give you an example. Okay, I'll show everybody. I'm gonna show the shoulder one though. You see, a lot of people say, "Oh, I have pain down my arm." If you see these pictures up here, I have pain down my shoulder, down my arm, and then we'll say, "Oh, okay." The little X there, that's the point that you want to hit, and you want to hold it for a few seconds, sometimes 30 seconds, sometimes almost 2 minutes.
Remember yesterday I had a front headache. You said, hold on, headache. Oh, it's for this muscle here.
You take this guy, this again, trigger point stick. We got it at Amazon, $20. So I'm not trying to sell you nothing, just showing you. And then here, I mean, I can try to sell you my book and my course, but other than that. Then here, and you use that. You go to that one spot that you see on the little X that is causing the pain down the arm, and hold it. You do this for a few times, and the pain is gone. Okay, you'll feel like sore when you poked, but you're the one doing it, so you know how hard.
So you don't have to pay a lot of money for people to do trigger points. You can do it yourself.
No, you don't. And this is me sharing the secret. Now, some people just prefer using others, or maybe they can't find the right spot, or maybe it's not working. Then they should go see somebody more skilled. But this
you can
stuff,
try to at least treat yourself. You save
and
some big bucks.
save some big bucks, and save some time that you would be off the gym and no longer on. Okay, any questions? We're nearing 30 minutes. I got a couple of questions. I'm happy about that. Anybody else has any questions in shoulder? How can I help you in jiu-jitsu, in lifting? And if not, I'm going to enter right here the link for the course.
I can mexer o telefone.
I will try, but I'm writing on it, so it's really hard. Physiotraining.club. So it is course.physiotraining.club. And if you want to take the course, it is self-paced. Okay, you get to you have the ability to reach out to us if you need it. And of course, if you don't want to take the course, you just want to learn some of these techniques, you can get the book, right?
$19.
Yeah, you can download it for $10.
$16, something like that. You gotta put a price in your health.
Oh man, no, yeah, that's not
Some
a price.
people do.
That's an investment.
It's an amazing thing how people put a price on their own bodies.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us.
Where are you going?
I'm leaving. I'm done. It's been 30 minutes. It's Saturday.
Oh, it's Saturday. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. All right. It was very nice to see you
Joe.
guys. All right.
It's always like this. When I'm about to leave, people start jumping.
No, it's Saturday. Just told you it's Saturday. So it's time to leave. No, it's Saturday. Guys,
Yeah, it is Saturday.
We have an earthquake in here.
Yes.
Shaking the thing here.
It's called Chris.
Earthquake.
All right. Let me see if I have any other
You still talk
questions.
about the shoulders.
Shoulders.
Can you turn the camera because you can see only my elbow?
Sure.
Don't have too much. I don't like. I'm not handsome enough to be on TV. So.
All right, guys. All right. I love the little emojis. You know that this is actually a high five emoji. It's not a right? So
Really?
yeah.
Really?
So
So
when
I'm
someone-
sending blasts to people with this high
It's
five.
actually a high five. Yes, it's true.
Who told you that?
I read it somewhere. Yeah. Anyways,
All right.
guys, thank you. Thank you again. Any questions? You got your 5 seconds to ask me questions. 4, 3.
What is this?
This is how I do it with the students. 2. No questions. That means you understood everything.
It's Saturday.
And you know what to do. Give me a kiss. Thanks, guys.
See you guys later.
Take care. Bye.
Be.